Oh my gosh.
Episode 632.
Woo!
Sarah, hello.
That 6 divided by 3 is 2.
No, that is satisfying.
So that's fun.
That's your brain candy for the day, everyone.
Yes. Love a little brain candy.
Oh, my
love you,
God.
Susie
Do you have
Meister.
anything we need to, cover before?
Well, I've had quite the morning. I'm on day 2 of cleaning up number 2s.
Day 2. I thought you were going to rhyme. I thought you were going to say of cleaning up poo, but you did the
I could have gone that way.
Yeah,
I
either
could have
way.
gone either way with that. Yeah, Bo has had a little upset tummy. Could be a few things. A, gave her flea medication, and maybe that's it. B, got some new treats from Trader Joe's. I don't want to shit on my favorite place, but...
Bo did.
Bo, right. Ooh, Bo shitting all over my place. So, or also could be, I treat her with some chicken broth in her, just stock, like chicken broth in her food. And I switched up brands. So could that do it?
You don't have a control group. It could be any of these.
Right. It could be any of those things.
Or
so.
it could be the most likely one, which is that she's on death's door because she's 9,000 years old.
No, not that one. I was thinking that. I was like, oh God, this better not be that. But they don't, no. She's like running around like a
Okay.
spring
That's
chicken.
the only symptom.
And that's it. And she's still eating. And she's like, yum, I love this food. I'm like, no, Bo, stop.
In those moments, do you think, why do I have a dog?
Yeah. In those moments, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so grateful that I don't have kids.
I feel like that's worse. I've never had to
it
do
is
that.
worse in the moment. For one moment, it is worse. But it is not. I think about how many times a parent has to do that. And just like all the messes, it never really stops. It's just constant. You know how I hate mysterious wetness? I feel like 75% of raising a child is dealing with mysterious wetness or why is it sticky? Either of those two questions, I don't want to know the answers to.
Yeah, you're right. I don't
Never
know.
good. Never good.
I've never had diarrhea on the carpet, though. I mean, that's
Oh, my God, Suze.
worst.
It's as bad as you think it is. Because it's penetrating multiple layers. So luckily I have one, which all of those words are gross. So luckily I have one of those portable rug doctor things, like a mini one that is for pet cleaning up, blah, blah, blah. So, I used that for an initial clean. I got the Nature's Miracle that's got the enzymes so we neutralize smell.
Yeah,
this is not enough. The steam cleaners will be coming. Luckily, in 2 more days, and I didn't have them come yesterday because what if I did and then she did that?
Yeah, you have to wait until she has some solid BMs.
Right. I would have been so mad if I had paid the almost $100 to have them come clean the carpet and then she shat all over. Shitted? It's definitely not shitted.
I think shit is also past tense.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You don't shat on something? Shit on something.
It's funny to say.
It is. That's not a word.
No. No.
I have definitely heard people misuse that enough to where I was questioning
nuclear.
it. Don't do that to me! I still don't... Nuclear.
That is incorrect.
That's not it?
Right. It's nuclear.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
That seems like...
But that's why, because so many people say it wrong.
It's the opposite of clear.
Right. It's a nuclear.
That sounds like clean energy to me. And nothing about nuclear energy, I think, is nuclear. I don't even know. No, it's not. I have no idea. Put it on the list of things I don't know.
When you were cleaning up the carpet, did you get the sense that Bo was sorry?
So sorry.
Oh, really?
So she hid behind the table. She like didn't know where to go. Then she does this thing with her shoulders where she like looks real. She's like, I'm sorry. Puts her head down. She
Really?
knows. So she wants to do the right thing, and it's close enough to the door where I'm like, you were trying.
Yeah.
And she just, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to put her in like a room, like I'm gonna have to put her in like the laundry room.
When you're sleeping.
Yeah, it's like a crate. It's putting her in a crate. I'm not torturing her, for goodness sakes.
No, but from experience with Bo, when she is in a room she doesn't want to be in, she will, damage the door.
Yes, she will. I have taught her not to do that.
Oh, good. Okay.
I have had to do that. Yeah.
Because R.I.P. your laundry door.
R.I.P.
What I'm afraid of.
Susie learned that the hard way. Bo's a good dog until she's a terrible dog.
Yeah, I mean, she's reasonable.
She's very reasonable. Never changes.
I have been meaning to mention this for so long, and I just have to do it before I forget, which is that we have got to talk about Brittany Griner, the WNBA player detained in Russia.
Oh, my gosh. For freaking nothing.
For nothing.
She's still there. She's still there, isn't she?
She is very much still there, and no end in sight. She just pled guilty. Pleaded? Pled.
Shitted?
She shouted guilty, and she, was sentenced to 10 years. But hopefully...
Wow!
I know.
No!
Yeah. Hopefully the lawyer told her to do that because then that's taking responsibility, and then they can do the old trade thing with another person. But the thing is, Russia wants to trade her, who all she did was have a little bit of hashish oil residue on a cartridge. It wasn't even like a fucking kilo of cocaine or something.
Jesus.
And they want to trade her for a man who's called Dr. Death, who is like a Russian fucking terrorist.
No!
Right?
That's a little different. That's not
a fair trade, Putin.
That is not a fair trade.
Yeah.
That's what's the really cheap ones? Marvin Gardens for Boardwalk.
Right. Yeah. That's what it is. And it's messed up.
I'm trying to think of the times I've been swindled, and the first thing that came to my mind was Monopoly. So that's what, or we were going with that one. Mm-hmm. I could have thought of a better analogy. And it's doing the best I can over here, folks.
Yeah, and it stands to logic. And the thing that makes me real mad about it is twofold. Number one, if this were the number one male NBA player, he would be home.
He would be home already. Please.
And second of all, the fact that the WNBA players are paid so poorly that they often go to Europe to play in the off season just to make fucking ends meet. It's messed up that she even had to go there in the first place.
Oh my God, that is crazy. I can't believe we haven't talked about this.
Like, I think they said LeBron makes $45 million a year. She makes like $200,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I get it. Everybody that wants to be like, well, that's because the NBA makes a lot more money. No shit! That's because of the patriarchy, you fucking losers.
Right. Fucking losers. Not you guys, the patriarchy.
Yeah, those guys.
Those guys.
But I just feel so sad for her and her wife. And
right.
She can't even stand in her cell because she's too tall.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is really messed up.
I know. Can you imagine how scary that would be?
Like the most scary.
Yeah.
You're in a Russian prison.
Mm-hmm. Nightmare. I just pray for her safe return because, with those guys.
For doing something that, is totally legal in the United States.
And she said, this isn't funny, but just the fact that it was even in your bag. I'm like, what were you doing? Unless it was planted there. But she said she packed in a hurry. And it's like, lady, if that's actually true, I bet you really realize haste makes waste.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if you just made a simple error like that and then you were maybe never going to come back from Russia and you're in some sort of fucked up broke down
Yeah.
palace hellhole.
It's the worst. It's a nightmare.
It's the worst. So free Britney, the new Britney, not Spears.
Oh.
She's free.
We can use the same T-shirts
Yeah,
and posters.
bring
so.
Britney home, whatever the hashtag is.
God,
That's her.
that is really, really fucked up. I hope they get that taken care of ASAP.
Me too. And
Yeah, fucking come on.
one thing that is not fucked up is how amazing Liquid IV is.
Oh, thank you, Liquid IV.
Yep.
I've been using it in my smoothies. I love the strawberry.
Amazing product. Like, I can't get over it sometimes. It is just like sweeping the nation because it's just a little packet you put into your water to get extra hydration. I sent some to my friend Leah, and she was going on a missions trip, and she was going to take some with her to give to the people that they're helping, which is so cool. But they have amazing flavors. Especially, I love it for summer because, like Sarah said, you can make it into like a fruity frozen drink too.
Yes.
But it's got all these vitamins in it. They taste great. There's a flavor for everybody. I mean, if you don't like one flavor, try another one because there's about 1 million. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code CANDY at checkout.
I did that, and I got the pina colada one, and it was excellent.
I'm so glad you finally did that because Sarah loves a pina colada.
I do love a pina colada.
Let me tell you.
So much. I love them.
I can just hear the steel drums
Yeah.
right now.
If you like pina colada. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, okay. First up, besides Britney, I watched the Girls Gone Wild Exposed documentary.
Wow.
Bonkers.
You really got to throw the word documentary on the end of that because that's a very different Google search. Girls Gone Wild Exposed is just the name of their spring
collection.
break. Collection.
Okay, number one, we've all seen these ads like on E! and stuff. Girls Gone Wild, late at night.
Yep.
Especially in their heyday, like the aughts.
Oh
What the fuck were we doing as a society?
And how about how the real world was touring with them?
Who? What? I forgot about that.
Susie.
Ace.
Yes.
Ace.
Who was it? It
I know
was
Ace
Tanya. Maybe Tanya.
I think that rings a bell. Sarah.
I think that rings a bell too. We have to look this up.
Oh my God.
Who is it? What did you just say?
Well,
Girls
Ace,
Gone Wild.
I think.
Girls Gone Wild.
And
real world.
It's funny because pretty much anyone I could name.
Cameron.
Wow. That is bonkers.
With Tanya, Erica, Cameron, and Ace.
Who the hell is Erica?
Erica Ellison. Let's see, Erica.
That must be a road ruler because I don't know her. We're like this.
Oh, I don't even know who this is.
Okay.
Anyways,
Well, then maybe she really needed that money. But
She's been in a bunch of stuff. Maybe, you know what? She actually might be a porn star. Because I'm looking at her IMDb. It's bound and gag captives. Nice girls are easy to tie and gag.
Okay. So
Howard Stern on demand.
She was not in the franchise on MTV. Okay. Here's me being like, she must be on road rolls.
Meanwhile.
Okay, so that says everything you need to know about it, that, Real World went on tour with them. But the documentary, they were trying to show how exploitative it was, which didn't take a lot of convincing. I mean,
it was so exploitative. What do they give these girls? A fucking shirt?
Yes.
Yeah.
T-shirts. They did this for T-shirts, and now their images are forever on
insane.
Fucking dark web.
Right.
I call anything I don't like the dark web.
It's like if it goes through the parental filter, dark web. That's the dark web. I honestly don't know what the dark web is or like where you find it. I don't know
or where you find it.
No, that's not a joke. Is it a separate server? Is it a separate thing, or is it just like Google, but for, like, you have to do something to get on there, right? You have to, like, I don't fucking know how it works.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I have no clue how
I guess
it works.
I always just thought it was just accessible to anyone, but it was hard to know where to go. That it's like, but that doesn't sound right.
Right.
We don't know what the dark is what dark web is. That's what we're saying.
Not one little bit.
So, and then Joe Francis is such a fucking nightmare narcissist sociopath.
Totally.
That
Ugh.
if a girl participated and then the next day woke up regretting it and then reached out and said, like, no, I'm getting an attorney. This isn't going to go. This isn't going to work out. He would purposefully make that girl, like, on the cover of all the stuff.
No.
He was so vindictive and gross. And there really wasn't anything the attorneys could do because they did sign these things. But they're drunk. How is that a legal thing?
It seems not.
When someone's signing a contract when they're blackout drunk.
I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that. Nope.
And then the few times that people did win, they might get a settlement, but it's still being sold because it's on the internet.
Yeah. So you don't really win.
And like 1 year, for example, their lawyers' fees were like $200,000, but the talent payments were $3,000, which is basically just all the T-shirts they bought. So, like, they built this business model where it's like designed.
They built the lawyer fees into the business model.
They wanted to pay for lawyers and not pay for talent.
God.
On purpose.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
The most chilling part of the film, it's the first scene, and then they go into it later, which is that there's audio of him beating the shit out of his wife and her screaming for her life and saying, "You're killing me." And he's like, "Good, I hope you die." I mean, this horrific things because she was being abused, so she recorded the audio on her phone.
Oh, my God.
And he's not in jail. He's in Mexico.
Oh!
He's a resident of Mexico. He did that because he didn't want to be, go to jail, which he was going to do.
Oh, my God.
It's so disturbing.
Shut up. Are you...
All these, like, celebrities still love him and wear, like, Free Joe shirts, like all the Kardashians.
No! No!
Jennifer Aniston.
No!
Yes!
Why Jennifer... No.
Yeah.
I'm in shock.
Really?
Why are people...
Because
what is wrong with people?
Hollywood is soulless, truly.
Hollywood really is.
Yeah.
Is this like a one time you did something for me and now, like, you get a fuck... Oh, God.
I think they just don't care. We all know all these people in Hollywood that have done horrible things for years, and everyone in the Whisper Network knows about it. And they're just like, yeah, but he's rich, so who cares?
Oh, my God.
He's powerful.
Yeah, that's what people don't care.
And the one thing that was questionable to me is just that so much of the documentary, even though they blurred the faces, was playing this footage that is supposed to be exploitative.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's...
Right.
It makes you feel dirty that you're sitting there, like, showing their boobs and all this stuff, and they're drunk, and...
Is it blurred or no?
Yeah, their faces are blurred, and then the boobs usually have, like, those silly, like... Remember the Girls Gone Wild graphics that were kind of, like, animated?
Yeah.
It's those things. Because they take them from the DVDs. It's so messed up, and nothing's going to happen.
No.
And these poor girls, some of them were underage, some of them were raped by Joe, and...
This is awful. Oh, God.
But what's really kind of shocking is that this was all just like part of our culture at that time, and we just didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
That, they're on spring break. That's what people do on spring break.
This reminds me of Girl 27, the documentary that we watched for our documentary club, and why, even though it was a story about a woman who was hired, a girl who was hired for, what is the Warner Brothers, something, what is the studio that was? It was MGM.
Yeah.
For
MGM.
an MGM, what was essentially Coachella or MGM, like not
It
with
was like
bands
their
and everything.
sales
They're like
conference.
their big party. They're like
For their reps.
yeah, for which are men. It's a party for dudes. And so these women are hired, and they think that they're going to be like actresses, and they think that they're going to be on, film.
Filming a scene, yeah.
And they end up just being used and
raped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically
Sexually exploited.
They were told, do what you want. I mean, the leader of the party was like, it's playtime, everybody.
Yeah.
So
and that feels the same. They signed a contract, so do what you want. So
it's so permissive. Then there's also
changed.
security camera footage of Joe Francis was out at this bar, and it was real crowded, and this girl was at the bar, and she had reached over to do something, and she accidentally spilled a little bit on Joe, but she didn't even realize it, and she turned back to the bar, and he reaches in, grabs her hair, and drags her through the bar, punching her face.
No!
Yes. And she...
Why isn't she...
She was there, and he went to jail for that, I think, but, it's just messed up.
My God, this fucker.
He is a scary man. His parents have a restraining order against him.
What?
Yes!
Oh, he did some bad shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he already has, but I need to see that Jennifer, why is Jennifer Aniston?
Well, she loved Girls Gone Wild. She thought it was funny to get them for Brad, and I think that's how they met. But not Brad and Jen, but Jen and Joe. But it's if you want to watch it, it's on TNT, and you can watch it on their website for free. But there are little commercial breaks throughout that they make you sit through. But you don't have to have a streaming service or anything. So I recommend it because it is shocking. So that's that.
Good Lord.
I'll tell you, that is not sexy at all, but I'll tell you what is, and that is Dipsy.
Yes. See, now that's some consensual, everybody is happy.
Yes. By women,
feels
for
good.
women.
Yes.
These are
now
sexy stories.
You're talking my language.
Yeah.
Let's go,
this
people.
Is by us, and it is safe and beautiful and fun and gets your motor running and will indulge your fantasies, whatever they may be, with maybe immersive soundscapes, characters that you're into, whatever turns you on. They can supply these little stories. Or maybe you just want to be soothed off into a sweet slumber. For listeners of the show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/braincandy. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/braincandy, dipsystories.com/braincandy. New content every week. Check it out.
Yes.
Moving on. What else is on my mind? I was on YouTube and I watched remember in 1993, you were a youngster, but Oprah did a very famous interview with Michael Jackson. Do you remember that?
What happened in it?
He hadn't given any interviews in 15 years, so it was like a real big event and it was live.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So she didn't pre-record it. Like it's live on camera.
That's risky.
Yeah. And then they did like a tour of Neverland and whatever. And basically he was just like claiming the tabloids are garbage and like don't buy them, don't read them, don't believe them because they say all these crazy things about me that aren't true, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And it was a very famous interview at the time. And I watched it in 1993, but I haven't seen it since Finding Neverland came out.
Uh-huh. And
it was just so messed up to watch it now, knowing what we know now.
Ooh.
And you saw Finding Neverland, right?
Nope.
Oh, too traumatic.
I'm
constantly recommending like child abuse stories.
I'm like, no, I'm good. Sorry. It is unfortunate that so much of the content now is that.
And it's a shame that there is enough content to make it such a big genre.
Yeah, it is everywhere. But I've just decided for my own mental health, I have to limit and
choice.
reduce I did watch I did manage to make it through more of the girl in the photo.
Girl in the picture.
The
whatever,
picture.
on Netflix.
There was a
that
twist that helped.
crazy.
So.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, good.
Right. I was like, oh, thank God.
It got so confusing.
So confusing. Anyways, back to Neverland.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Finding Neverland, that is where the Michael Jackson's accusers describe the abuse that he allegedly committed over the years and at Neverland Ranch. And there was a famous scene in Finding Neverland when one of the victims says that Michael Jackson had a theater where they could watch any movie they wanted. It was just, it's just the place any kid would want to go for a million reasons. And then at the top of the theater in the back, there were bedrooms that were like secret, kind of. Mm-hmm. And that he would take them in there and abuse them. And in the Oprah interview, they're in the theater, and she's like, one thing I really love about this theater are those bedrooms up there with the windows where you can watch the movie, because he claimed that's where all the Make-A-Wish cancer patient kids would go who couldn't, get out of bed, and they'd put them in these beds to watch the movie.
No!
And just seeing that and seeing that he's using these same beds for Make-A-Wish kids with cancer, that he then does abusive things to other kids, or maybe the same kids, I don't know.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's so chilling.
Oh, God.
And how long he got away with it. And and it reminded me remember when we talked about the Boy Scouts documentary, Leave No Trace, and how they're trying to, weed out predators as the leaders. And somebody wrote to us who, I think she and her husband are both Boy Scouts troop leaders. Mm-hmm. And she said that they use this interviewing technique now.
Nice. I'm already into it.
And they have a series of questions that the interviewee would think are just innocuous.
Yes. Because people walk right into fucking traps when they they don't see it. Mm-hmm. Part of this is not being able to. Yeah. Okay. Tell me.
Well, so that the questions hopefully elicit answers that will be red flags to the interviewer. Mm-hmm. And she didn't go into detail, but she described it as basically, if all of your hobbies and interests include kids, there's a pretty high likelihood that you are problematic. Mm-hmm. Because that, remember how I said about there's no such thing as fun for the whole family. Most adults really don't want to hang out with kids all the time.
Right.
They like hanging out with adults.
Right.
And so it made me think of that, because in the interview with Oprah, Michael was saying, people are always wondering, why do I want to be around kids all the time? And
oh, God.
And
you connect all the dots.
I lost my childhood, and I'm just making up for it now, which I'm sure is true.
Correct. You're making up for it in the same way that you experienced your childhood.
Yeah, but now you're a grown man with adult urges.
Right, but that was how he experienced childhood, through sex. And that was what was happening to him, so he is...
And you think that's true 100% of the time?
No.
Oh, okay. You just think in his case?
Yes.
Oh.
Because we know that happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I feel like there's information out there that he was a victim of sexual abuse.
Oh, well, odds are. I just didn't know that we had any inkling about that. Anyway, that was disturbing.
That's what I remember, at least.
Why am I'm like the queen of the dark web over here. I'm talking about all these terrible people.
Yeah. It's just... Dark web casts a wide net?
Well, yeah, it's unfortunate how many people fall into this category.
Right. That's what I meant. Ugh. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's Nightmare Central.
Totally.
And, I think I told you how Adam will not listen to MJ's music.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah.
And he's like, that makes him money every time you listen to a song on the radio. And I'm like, he's dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but his state gets it. And I'm like, yeah, but they didn't abuse people. I mean, they were enablers, though. Yeah. Let's be honest.
I can't listen to R. Kelly.
I
can't listen to Chris Brown.
Yeah.
He does that for me, too. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get it. I do.
Yeah. But damn, I'll rock out to a Michael Jackson song.
I mean,
they're so good.
The talent is so enormous.
I know.
When they would play clips from it, it was mesmerizing. And you can see how he would be able to use all that to accommodate his predation.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Let's move on. First, I'll tell you, I have been totally enjoying HelloFresh lately.
Yeah, me too.
It has been, I don't know what, HelloFresh, if you're listening, shout out to HelloFresh.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know what.
Oh, Susie with a shout
out. The recipes are just like,
yes,
really bangers every time.
Bangers.
And
I had some pork chops that were.
Chef's
I'm like
kiss.
learning. I love how much I learn how to make.
Yeah.
You know, like if I go to a restaurant and they put some fancy like garlic aioli on something, I'm like, oh, that's fancy. I didn't know that I could make that. I know how to do that now.
Yeah.
It took me 2 minutes, not even. I got it.
They jazz it up, and then we're like, oh, we can do this all the time?
Yeah, I'm like, lime crema? It's in the repertoire. I know. It's 3 things. Very easy.
That's right. And we say thank you. We salute you, HelloFresh. Because you can skip the grocery store. They just deliver the ingredients and the recipes to you, which I friggin' love. They have a Taste of Summer series with like Old Bay and all kinds of yum.
I love that.
Shrimp and sausage boil. They have grilled steak lettuce wraps. Real fresh stuff that fits with the season. And you can customize if you're going on vacation. You can pause it or change it or whatever. It's just great. 10 out of 10. Go to HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy16 and use code BrainCandy16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy16 and use code BrainCandy16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
Yes.
Do it. Okay. Moving on. I think it was Squats, the Brainiac Squats, who sent this to me. And I think it's a Vice article about how there's this new trend where people are asking morticians to cut off their loved ones' tattoos to preserve and frame.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of
into this.
Okay, well, the way
in a weird, totally morbid way.
What is it that appeals to you? Just the preservation of art, or is that you kind of love creepy stuff?
Maybe both.
Right, it's a 2-for-1.
It's a 2-for-1. I do love creepy stuff. Like, it's my favorite thing. There's so many dead things in my house. Yeah, like there's so many dead things. I've got pieces of bone from so many different animals, and you'd think I was like a hunter or like a trapper, but no, just witchy. Yeah, and so it just reminds me of the cycle of life, and it's really beautiful, you know.
Okay, so you feel like that it's an extension
that once was. I'm into it.
You feel like it's an extension of being death positive.
Yeah. Like, don't you think it would be really funny and cool if you had your dad's tattoo of the limo?
That would definitely be funny.
And you'd had it, like, framed and, like, in a weird place in your house, like, in, like,
in the bathroom or something.
Yes, it's in the bathroom is where that goes. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of interesting.
It's definitely interesting.
It's kind of funny.
It's kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
And it's creepy in a way that I think would be repulsive to many people.
Is it?
Yes. Because it's...
What about it is... Because, like, after the skin dries, it's like leather.
Well, this company, it's called... Let me see the name. The company is called...
Like, we go look at mummy... I don't understand. You go to a museum. You, like, make a field trip out of it to go look at other preserved bodies. But you're creeped out by the idea of a preserved friend or relative?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm not exactly jumping up and down about the ones in the museum either.
Well,
it's not like that's why I go.
Well, yeah, but, like, people aren't like, oh, I can't look at that. It's so creepy. I think it becomes, like, depersonal, like, it becomes... The person isn't in this. These are just meat sacks.
Yeah.
These are just skin suits. The person isn't in this. It's just a thing. It's like a trunk of a tree. I don't know. It's just something. It's like...
But it was once living and animated, and that can feel... Excuse me.
Oh.
That can...
A tickle? What's happening?
Maybe it was like in reaction to these...
Gory things.
Yeah. Skin suits. Remember when we heard about the Nazi, I don't know if it was a soldier or something, that would collect the tattoos of the Jews and would make like lamps and stuff out of it?
Oh, that's creepy. Yes, I do. Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, obviously, I know that's
different.
Different. Because it's more of a trophy, I think.
And it's the idea of like sneaking it into something that there's a difference between surprise that lampshade is made out of somebody I captured and this framed piece of art that's hanging that's like preserved and put up and it from this person that I knew from my
there is a difference.
Great grandma.
We'll have to do a poll because
it's still fucking creepy. It's weird.
Yeah,
I'm not denying that.
But I do feel like different strokes. Like if that's something that means something to you, then do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But I would probably be unnerved to buy it in my own home.
Yeah.
The company is called Save My Ink Forever. And they put it through this huge process that takes like 3 months, and they preserve it so that the skin does not decompose.
Oh, I want to see what this looks like. Oh, it looks cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
It looks like paper.
Yeah,
oh,
like
it looks like skin.
Design.
Oh,
which one?
Some of them look like skin.
Maybe it depends on the color of your skin. Are you on Vice or are you just...
I'm on SaveMyInkForever.com. I'm looking at their portfolio. I mean, they kind of look like paper. Okay, the ones that are the full body suits, that's one where it's like, yeah, I'm into this. It's a little creepy.
Oh, that one does look like skin. I see what you're saying.
The one with the bumps.
Yeah.
I know what you're... Yeah, that is the one where I was just like, what? No.
Too much texture.
Too much texture. Too much... Like, when I can see the little, like, I'm having a reaction.
Great. Woo! I'm so glad we got here with this.
Look at my goosebumps.
She got goosebumps. It's
wow. Whew. You know what gives you the heebie-jeebies? Like, kind of...
I think my question would just be, why couldn't you take a picture of
I want it dried out more.
It's too moist. It's
Susie! Don't say that! It's gross now! Wow. This is like crop circles all over again.
Yeah, you don't want it to be leathery. You want it to be more papery.
Yeah, I want it to be more leathery. I don't want it to be like...
porous.
Raw meat. I don't want it to be... Okay, you know when you like get like pork product, like pig feet or something, and it's got like the pork or like.
Yeah, it's too real.
Yeah, every now and then I get a whole chicken, and it doesn't have all the feathers out of it, and I really love plucking them out. It feels like it like satisfies.
You're really an interesting person.
I know. It satisfies the same thing as like popping a zit. It's like, oh.
Does it?
Oh, it gives me goosebumps thinking about that. Like I equally love it and hate it at the same time. What's wrong with me?
I don't understand how this scratches the alleged itch, where it's sort of like, you want to have them with you and you miss them and you love them, but a picture of them when they had the tattoo would seemingly do the trick and would not be disgusting.
That's the same as like saying a picture of my dog is the same as having it stuffed.
Okay.
I'm doing neither. I'm not getting my dog. I'm not saying me. I don't want that. But I know a lot of people who enjoy that.
But the only difference is one is creepy and one is not, but you can still think of them and look at them and
right.
And so that way you can.
This is a different strokes thing. Because like
totally.
I kind of don't have a problem with taxidermy.
I don't have a problem with it.
Like I wouldn't. And maybe there are some taxidermy things that I would have in my house.
I love how you're saying this as if you haven't already spent several episodes talking about how you kind of love it. Now you're like, I don't have a problem with it. She's like an enthusiast.
Meanwhile, I follow so many taxidermists on Instagram. I really do.
Right.
I follow one woman who just did a horse.
No.
Yeah,
who's
a whole
that
horse.
For?
Somebody whose horse died of COVID.
There are so many things my brain
know,
is like
right?
Floating right now.
So many things.
I did not know horses could die of COVID.
I did not know that either. That's what I said. When I saw it, like came up in like the description of the video. I was like, whoa. I have way more questions.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a real thing though.
You know how we talked last week about my aversion to sex dolls?
Oh, yes, correct.
And I did offend at least one person. She was
really?
Nice. Yeah, she was nice about it, but she just was like, Susie, you're too harsh. Like, people have really hard lives, and, like, this doesn't hurt anyone. And I was like, to be fair, I did say it doesn't hurt anyone, like, do what you want. But I just have, like, an opinion about it. And I go, and it is my weird job to give my opinion.
Yes, correct.
But I got what she was saying, because you know what? It really doesn't hurt anybody. Same with taxidermy. It's just a taboo a little bit, like corpses.
Which is kind of why it's fun. But there are, studies show that people who have a more morbid curiosity around death, or are interested in death, have a better relationship with death. And
I
fear
get
death
that.
less. And are able to process things like death much easier.
That was in The Comfort Crisis as well, one of my favorite books.
There we go.
He talks about how every day, if you spend some time meditating on death and your own mortality, that it is good for your health.
I'm keeping myself healthy, staring at all the dead bones.
What is your final... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I'll ask you this, and then I'll say something. What is your final decision? Is this good or bad? The preservation of the dead skin. You like it?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your final?
I am not too much of a fan of it. Okay. But I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Right. There are worse things.
Especially if they're papery, not meaty.
I mean, my mother asked to save a piece of skin. Like when I was younger, I had this little bump that was right above my ear. And when I was born, my mom was like, oh, what's that? And the doctor said, like jokingly, was like, oh, that's just leftover from when she was a fish and had gills. My mom was like, okay. And she like believed that. So we used to always call it my lucky bump. And my mom always said this is what made me such a good swimmer. But then it started to hurt. Or like just kind of annoy me. So we had it removed, and my mom was with me, and she was like, can I keep it in like a little jar? My mother wanted to keep my body parts that were removed. So
even when Lincoln loses a tooth, I feel obligated to keep it, and I'm just like, this is a weird thing that we do.
See? Imagine if you might want to feel obligated to keep his skin suit.
I could see that.
Yeah, see? There we go. I got Susie to come around. This never happens.
I am open-minded. I can see that. What I am also open-minded about is how awesome Everlywell is.
Yeah.
And you guys have got to give it a try. Sarah, like, her whole life was changed by Everlywell.
So good. Here's the thing about when you discover food sensitivities. Like allergies, like, you're like, oh, I'm allergic to this. Food sensitivities really help you. This is just one of the many tests you could do. I chose the food sensitivity one for now, and there are other ones I want to do too. But when like sometimes you have weird symptoms and you like, for example, I now know that I can drink dairy, I can eat cheese, but I'm 100% going to get some zits.
Right.
I was able to do a control study and take certain things out of my diet, and they even send you emails and like help you out with that. They're like, okay, here's how we're going to like find out what's going on, and we're going to do 4 weeks of cutting this out, and it's so helpful. And so now I know I can kind of like balance it out. Okay, I got to drink a shit ton of water and like eat well if I'm going to like gorge on cheese and a cheese platter.
Yeah.
So
right.
I learned this all through my
empowering.
test. This was very
Yes.
long-winded, but
Yes, you can learn what foods disagree with you or you have a sensitivity to. They also have vitamins like vitamin D. They're chewy gummies. They're so
ooh,
good.
love those.
Omega fish oil. But the tests are great because they're affordable, transparent pricing, and you get your results in a few days sent to you.
They even have like STD testing. You want to do all that and they test for more than if you just go to the regular doctor and you're like, or the urgent care. They're like, oh, they test for like the basic 3. This tests for like a bunch. And then you don't have to go anywhere. And it's like, here you go.
It's so
Testing
convenient.
in your own home.
Yeah, and for listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off at-home lab test at everlywell.com/braincandy. That's everlywell.com/braincandy for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/braincandy.
Yeah, man.
Highly recommend it. Okay. That's it on the tattoos.
Yes.
Thank you for sending that. Squats.
Interesting. I wouldn't want anyone to do it with mine.
Do what? Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What's happening in the background?
That is my son.
He's singing opera, and I love it. Whatever's going on, I love him.
He was just at one of those
kid.
places where they do like go-karts, and
Oh.
so he just came home, and
It's all
I think
hopped
he
up
must
on
have really enjoyed
adrenaline. Yes. He's like zooming around the house. Vroom, vroom. Oh, I miss that kid. Your son and you, I have to blame for my new addiction.
Gibbets.
Yes!
They're so fun.
I didn't know how satisfying that would be. Like, make my little collection. Like, why do I love it so much?
We love it too.
I'm oddly, I got my little package in the mail. Like, I was like, Susie sent me a little, the little charms for your Crocs. Yes, I wear Crocs. And I was like, I can't just have 2 all by themselves, all lonely on here. And then you can order like 100 for like
Yes.
$15 on Amazon.
Yes, and then you can like change them out. What?
I'm back on Amazon.
No, you didn't. Did you buy Prime?
Yes.
That's so great.
I had to. I re-listened to the episode where you were like, Sarah, only you is suffering. Like, you're not doing anything.
Well, right.
And I was like, damn it, you're right. And I need some gibbets. Or whatever they're called.
Truly. Like
That's the only place I could get them. That, honestly, is the first purchase I made after I signed up.
Sarah sold her soul for gibbets.
I did! But gosh darn it, was it worth it? Because I got witchy ones, and they're so cool.
I know. Listen,
obsessed.
For me, Roe v. Wade being overturned pushed me over the edge in a lot of ways where I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I am doing that thing. I'm having the ice cream or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm wearing
like,
the Crocs. I'm buying
what?
the Amazon.
Yeah. And that cracked me up because I didn't know that you... we're still buying things on Amazon. Like, I thought that you were banning or protesting entirely, but you were just like, no, I'm just paying for shipping. That's so great. I was like,
I tried. I really tried. There was a solid 2 months where I went to the store and got all my shit, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
yeah.
There are still some things I've learned if the item costs under $10, you're better off just going to the store.
Okay.
But then again, gas prices are crazy now, so maybe it all evens out. Fuck, I don't know. You're
Yeah,
on your own,
somebody
people.
wrote to us
You
and
do
said
you.
her family does, they canceled their Prime, and for them it worked out great because they still use Amazon, but they just add things to their cart until you can get the free
This is
shipping.
what I did.
Well,
This is what I did.
Yeah, but they're not claiming to be doing this out of morality. This is just to save some dough.
Yeah, you're right.
You were like, Bezos, I'm going to pay you more in shipping. That'll teach you.
You're right. And then I found out there are different prices for people. I was like, wait a sec. This is cheaper it says like 20% less for Prime members. And I was like, oh, hell no. My gel nail polish.
Wow. I
Look
didn't
how
know
good it
that
looks.
at all. It looks great.
Thanks.
How much have you bought since you went back on? Are you just like on a spree right now?
I bought ridiculous things that you can't buy in the store, that you couldn't get in the store. So those little
Gibbets,
gibbets,
yeah.
gel, a set of what?
Lincoln gets it wrong, and he's not doing it to be funny. He calls them midgets. He doesn't. He doesn't know that that's not it.
Oh gosh, he's like, I feel like I've heard that term before. So I got that. I got piercing stuff, like for some piercings, and nose ring, and what was the other thing? It's like something else ridiculous that, and like the gel nail polish. And
All the stuff that makes your life real fun.
real fun. Like,
Yeah.
let me tell you, I had like 30 minutes in between an appointment. I spent all 30 of it rearranging and like finding the perfect little arrangement for those little charms on my freaking Crocs. And it brought me the same joy that I imagine. Well, no, not I imagine. I know. It was like when I would arrange like the stickers and the things I cut out in my binder when I was in high school.
And
Was
that is
not
the most
fucking
fun.
best? The most fun. Okay. I was thinking about this. I have a theory. First of all, do kids still do that? Do they still have binders? And because
He has
I
a
think things
binder.
went digital. And when things went digital, we still had that desire to like customize our life and show like this is like what I would put, which is why we have to do Instagram and those kind of things.
Ew, yeah.
Like maybe that's when you take away the opportunity for like
Self-expression.
expression in that way, it has to show up. And if we move everything else online, maybe we've also digitized self-expression.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was just having that thought. I was probably stoned when I was thinking.
But like when we were,
Good thing I
like,
remember.
let's say we did it with our binder or like in the inside of your locker or whatever.
Yes.
It wasn't false though. It felt true and authentic. Whereas Instagram, everyone is lying.
It kind of felt though, I would definitely have pictures of like the idealized version of me. Like mine was
Aspirational.
covered with like Roxy surfer girl stuff when I wanted to be that so bad, or like cool snowboard stuff, which now I'm like totally living that life.
Yeah,
So
you are.
13-year-old me would be like so proud that we finally got our shit together. But, and aren't being posers. So that I feel like it was aspirational, or was a little bit like looking like I'm cool.
Yeah. I don't know. People lie a lot on there though.
Oh yeah.
On Instagram.
It's not. It's easier to lie about because you're like about yourself, but it's almost
Yeah.
more like a Pinterest board. Pinterest would be the equivalent.
Yeah.
Pinterest
Totally.
is the thing.
Yeah, good point. But it is so fun. And I just read this article in the Atlantic. It's real short, but it said like how to trick yourself into having fun.
Oh, cool.
And it was sort of saying what you're describing. It was saying, like, choose a meaningless goal, something that's just for shits and giggles, and it really does make you happy, and it really does provide that meaning. And meaning, I think people like to imagine that it, like, hits you with a lightning bolt. Like, I feel inspired, but really it's like a decision. It's like we talk about with love. You have to decide each day to have meaning, to have love in your life, whatever. It's not like it just happens to you.
Right.
And it was just encouraging people to be frivolous in their hobbies because it's what you're describing, the gibbets. It brings joy.
It brought me so much joy. I was like, this is soothing and relaxing and satisfying, and like I feel almost like I'm organizing it, and it changes, and it's simple, and it doesn't it's not and it's tactile, like, you know, it's not digital, it's like it's not just, it's like something that I can actually feel and touch. It felt very soothing. ADHD Sarah loved that.
I am going to tell Adam to see if we can put those in our merch store. What if?
Oh,
Brain Candy
Doodle. Ah!
That would be so cool.
I'm freaking
She's
out.
Speechless. She's freaking out.
I'm freaking out. A collection of 5. So cute.
That would be our biggest
Come on
seller
with the
ever.
But I'm already sold. Everybody's getting one of those for Christmas.
I'm going to make this happen. I wonder if they're real hard to, like...
I don't think so.
Sarah's going to become like a rubber
Because people
exporter.
are on Etsy making everything under the fucking sun. Anything that you want, they have. I have a witchy one.
Yeah. I'm going to take a picture of Lincoln's and send it to you. Put it on Instagram because he would love to show you.
I would love to see.
It's a nice,
and he has white
creative...
Crocs. I want those. Yeah, I'm gonna get some new ones.
Yes,
we got to go with the white or the black. I think I'm gonna get both. Maybe I'm a fan now. How
many do you have?
Just one.
Yours are orange.
Orange, yeah.
And
but I'm getting another pair.
They're not.
Those are my camping ones. I need my
everyday
my everyday
dressy Crocs. That's so funny. Peg got a pair.
They have the sandals too. Those slides. That you can still put the...
They do?
Yeah, I know. I got a hookup for on this website called Expert Voice, where I get 40% off on Crocs.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you're so well connected.
Yeah, if anybody else who's a medical provider can also get that, or a first responder.
Oh,
you can get that. They will hook you up with like a code.
Right, because they wear those.
So.
Okay, well, this is real fun. We'll have to work on
they weren't.
Gibbets.
They're not even a sponsor. We're just sharing, guys.
No, we're
That'd
just
be so
passionate.
cool. Yeah.
Let's wind it down.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was really fun.
Talked about Michael Jackson.
I'm sorry I brought that up. I have regrets.
Why?
I don't like giving him air, you know.
Yeah. Well.
But it was fascinating.
It's really interesting. I think having those two like kind of in your minds next to each other, and like. Just to kind of think about that, just makes you kind of open up your eyes maybe more to the dangers that could be out there and the things that we don't see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fascinating, as was the Girls Gone Wild documentary.
Oh, my God. I'm definitely going to watch that.
I felt really bad for the girls that were in there that were talking about how it affected their lives, because it just does.
Yeah, how can it not?
Yeah, and then like one lady, she said her boyfriend's friends had seen her on the cover of one from like 20 years prior or whatever, and he came home with it in a rage. I'm just fuck you.
Fuck you, dude. What are you gonna, that she didn't tell, fuck that guy.
Right? And just
fuck that guy.
Your friends are the ones watching it. Why don't you get mad at them?
Right.
For consuming something that you think is so abhorrent.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
The women always are the problem, not the men.
Right.
Remember when I was on the dark web, I think, accidentally?
Maybe, question mark, Google?
Dead people tattoos. This is a poll we'll do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'll save it for next episode. I'll save it. I'm saving it.
Saving
it.
And Sarah has compromised her beliefs
Yes.
for
Yes.
for a
I have
little
no
joy.
soul.
It's a joy thing, though. It's worth it.
It is worth it. It's worth it.
I think the better use of your rage towards maybe capitalism or billionaires and or both is
tell me.
You know, what I would really love is for Congress to have more regulation on monopolistic
please.
enterprises and break up Amazon like Elizabeth Warren wants to do. There are ways that we can combat this situation and still get Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like best of both worlds, right?
Oh, God.
Something to think about. All right, everybody, we got to go.
We love
Don't
ya.
forget to subscribe. Bye.
Bye.